What's up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. And in today's video we're revisiting swords and specifically those that allow you to solo champions very easily. So if you're looking to jump into the Grandmaster Nightfall later this season, then this will be the video for you. Now if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below, that super helps me out here on the channel. And if you're new around here and want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. In yesterday's video, we were covering high DPS swords, and that created a great conversation in the comment section around effective swords and swords that everyone's going to be taking into the Nightfall. And it's with that in mind, we're going to be taking a look at the ones that are going to be most effective against bosses and champions as you try to complete them. Now, as we know, champions come in a variety of forms. You have the Unstoppable champion, the Overload champion, and the Barrier champion, all of which have their own respective weapon mods from this season's artifact. And with that, you can disrupt them and defeat them much easier than if you didn't have them at all. Now, the Grandmaster Nightfall is the hardest PvE activity that's going to be available this season, and it's with that we're looking at two specific perks for the sword that we have in mind. Now, this is my Steel Sybil Z14. I got this from a Crucible package by handing in tokens at Lord Shaxx over in the tower. As you can see, this is an adaptive frame sword, and a lot of these perks can be obtained on other swords as well. Now, this comes with Tempered Edge. This gives you an increase to your sword damage of +3, as well as your ammo as well. Alongside that, we have Heavy Guard. This is where Sword Guard has high overall defenses, but lowers the charge rate. Now, there are two key perks on this sword that make it so powerful. Now, the first one is Relentless Strikes. This is where landing 3 light attacks in a short time grants sword ammo. And that pairs perfectly with Whirlwind Blade. This is where rapid sword strikes increase the weapon's damage for a short duration. Guarding also ends the effect. Alongside an Impact Masterwork, I've also added the Disruption Blade mod, also available from this season's artifact. This is where landing consecutive hits on enemy targets causes disruption, delaying ability energy regeneration and lowering combatant damage output as well. So all those perks combined together make this a formidable sword with excellent damage capabilities and also damage capacity as well. To fully support this build, I've added an Unstoppable mod to my hand cannon, an anti-barrier mod to my sidearm. You can also add one to your SMG if you have one as well. And as you know, I have the Disruption mod already on the sword. An excellent exotic to pair with these is the Peregrine Greaves if you're running on the Titan. This will provide an increased amount of damage if you land an aerial hammer strike, which will also provide a +50% buff on any damage that you deal. So it allows for taking out champions very easy and super effective going into endgame PvE content. So we know the types of sword that these perks are available on. We know the perks it is that we're looking for, but why is it that we're looking for these specifically? Well, because of Whirlwind Blade, this stacks up to 5 times, and this will provide a percentage increase per swipe as you complete your attack. And as you can see, this will range between 5 and 6% depending on the swipe that you're on. But the overall percentage increase from the first swipe to the last swipe is 24%. Now, as I said, this has great damage capabilities, and if we take a look at the uppercut on this particular weapon, if we have no buffs applied from Whirlwind Blade, this will deliver 39,089 in damage. However, if you carefully plan your attack and can build up your Whirlwind Blade up to ×5 and then deliver the uppercut, this will land 50,817, which is 30% increase overall. So that summarizes its base damage capabilities, but there are many exotics in the game that you can pair this with to further enhance the damage capabilities of this weapon. As you can see here, I'm soloing the Pit of Heresy here, and I've got a Weapons of Light bubble, which is also providing an additional 35% in damage. And as a result, any uppercuts I can deliver with a ×5 Whirlwind Blade will be delivering 68,602 in damage. And as a result, you're able to solo the Pit of Heresy with just a bubble and a sword very easily. And this clip alone encapsulates exactly why swords, especially ones with perk combinations such as this, are great for single value targets, whether that be a boss such as this in a dungeon or even champions that you find throughout Nightfalls and Grandmaster Nightfalls later this season. As you go about completing Nightfalls, you will come across many champions throughout your journey, and that is why I like to run Peregrine Greaves as a personal favourite to approach those individual targets. However, if there's a particular boss that I'm tackling, then things like Weapons of Light and the Well of Radiance are fantastic alternatives and will provide a continuous buff for you on top of any Whirlwind Blade stacks that you can get. So there we have it, guys. That's what I firmly believe to be the OP sword for defeating champions in this current season. So if you want to be taking out champions as if they are a thrall, then be sure to search your vault for anything with Relentless strikes and Whirlwind blade. And if you don't have one, then simply hand in your tokens if you have any at Lord Shaxx to see if you can get a steel Sybil like myself. Now, if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.